Smart Notebook can be used to create lessons for all content areas. This is an example of how it can be used for math. So I would probably start out with your agenda. I draw a line here so you can write the date on the board. So what's today's date? And then I have an agenda here. So what's the order of operations, if you will, or your outline. If you start off class with bell work, I find it good to use a timer. You can find the timer in Smart Notebook over here in the gallery. You can simply go ahead and search the word timer. And there's two different timers. I prefer timer 2, which is the one that's going now. So if students have bell work to do or practice problems as they're waiting for the bell or at the start of class, you can give them that information here and give them time to solve it. You can, of course, use some of this time to check for homework. You can add more problems if you need to. You can, at the board, write them out. It's a lot harder to write with the mouse, but you can do that. You can add problems if you have more time and the students are going quickly. Sometimes in math class you check homework, so one thing you could do is allow students at the board. You could call in people, use popsicle sticks, use random word chooser, which is in Smart Notebook. You could say, okay, Alex, go ahead and put up 23 on the board, and Emma, go ahead and put up exercise 15 or problem 15, and then they could show all their work and write at the board, and you could use that to discuss. If you have handwritten notes of homework and you want to go over them with your students, you could scan them and then put them in the Smart Notebook as a PDF. This right here is the screen shade. It allows you to hide information from top to bottom or left to right. So you could go through one problem at a time as you're checking homework. So we're going to check these, and now we'll check those. If you wanted to reveal everything, you could simply click on the X and check homework. If you needed to review, one of the great things about Smart Notebook for Math is they offer a lot of different pages or page types. So if I wanted graph paper, which I inserted here, I could search for graph, and you want backgrounds and themes. So there's XY axis, XYZ, and then different spacing. The one I chose here is XY large. So you could review y equals mx plus b. You could go ahead and have a student come and figure out, the line. You could draw lines, freeform, or using the line drawing tools. Now you get into the lesson. Obviously with math, sometimes you have more problems to work, so you can simply add a page if you wanted to write out some more information, do some more practice. But you can preset information too. So here's factors. You can use what's called the pull tab feature. It's 2 images. It's text and a picture that I have grouped together. So I'll ungroup so you can see them. So here's the text and here's the image. I select them both and then I group them. And so now I have this kind of pull tab that would give me the definition. So here's information about factors, information about prime factorization. When you're up at the board discussing, you can highlight important information. You can circle it as well. So all sorts of things for teaching. You can fill in, so factors 15 are 5 and 3. You can have the students come up to the board and do this. And the factors of 15 are 5 and 3 because 5 times 3 is 15. The prime factorization of 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, not simply just 2. So you can fill in the notes as you go as well. You can teach at the board by pre-putting numbers in. You can teach them upside down division. So 2 goes into 24 12 times, 2 goes into 12 6 times, 2 goes into 6 3 times, and therefore 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 is the prime factorization of 24. If you wanted to teach some other idea, so since the word was tree, I searched the gallery for the tree image. I selected pictures, and then I picked the tree that I wanted. And I placed that here. One of the things that I did, let me unlock it, is I changed the transparency. So if you go to properties, you can make it lighter or darker. That way you can still see it in the background. So I'm going to lock that so it can't be moved. And you can teach the concept of kind of factoring with this tree. So 2 times 12 is 24. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. So it kind of, makes this tree image. You're left with 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And there's your factor tree. You can use an image like this, so that means everybody in the class go ahead and factor this. You can either use the division, you can use a tree. You could then have everybody try it on their own. So you have a solo work. So here's a self-portrait picture. Have everybody try. They can choose which way they want to factor. When you're finished, discuss, have a student come up to the board and try it. You can also do what's called a hide and reveal. So I have hidden behind the self-portrait the answer. So I first did this image, locked it, and then placed self-portrait over it. So I can say, okay, good, check your work. Did you do it right? You can do in-class work. So after they've practiced, now try it in pairs or in groups. You can use the random group generator. You insert all the names of the students in your class. This can be found in the gallery by searching random. And it is interactive. And here's the random group picker text. That's the one that I used. And so I've already imported all of the students' names. And I'm going to want, let's do 11 groups in class. So I select 11 groups and I hit generate. And now all the students are divided. So they can go work together. So William and Frank, Diane and Sophia, you're going to work on the evens together. And then check them. You can walk around and work with students in groups. And then as always, I like to put my homework on here just as I would in a syllabus or a school calendar. So this is just sort of one way of doing a math lesson in Smart Notebook.